delicious. The Modern Eater. Food, 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 food. Come and get it. And now your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, and Bryan Freeman.
You're hot.
Okay, why not? A beautiful day in the Mile High City and another edition of the Modern Eater Show right now. Live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Was at a great barbecue competition last week, but here we are. Find us doing another show here, just getting ready for the summertime and road trip and summer dinner series. Greg Hollenbeck, Bryan Freeman, Jay Parker, Little Rich Snyder. All's well in the world, Bryan?
Oh, all is well. It's warm and sunny like spring and summer are supposed to be, and we are in the Mile High City, Rocky Mountain High. Here we go.
Yeah. Big show tonight. We've got a few things as we get ready to embark on Road Trip 2019. So I'd like to get the folks over from Corner Post on here with this segment, and we'll talk to them as well as Bill from Smok. Have you been to Smok?
Yes.
Do you know where it is?
Well, of course it's in the Source. I said I've been there.
Okay.
Yep. Well, it's actually not in the Source. It's the Source Hotel. Yes. Not the Source building. But yeah, great food over there. I'm excited to see what they're doing tonight. It looks like we've got a brisket on hand. He's making some sausage tacos. Everything is good here. And
this is going to be good watching. And do yourself a favor, go over to our Facebook Live. We're streaming live as well. I'm going to share this over to our page. But in the meantime, here we go. Adrian and Dan, Corner Post Meats. How are you guys?
We're awesome. How are you guys?
Good to see
Really
you again.
well.
Hello. We were just talking about our, first of all, Corner Post. Tell folks what it is.
So we are a meats business based out of Black Forest. We sell direct to the public through our website, cornerpostmeats.com. We raise 100% grass-finished beef and lamb, as well as pastured pork, chicken, and turkeys. And then we also work with chefs throughout the Front Range, distributed through Growers Organic. Woohoo!
thank you.
Talk about that relationship, Bryan.
Well, I'll tell you what. There was, one of the things. Meat is a challenging place to go because, organic meat. I don't necessarily think is always raised properly. Just because it's organic doesn't mean there's the husbandry behind the meat that you really would like. And that's one thing when we at Growers have been growing the selections of things that we're doing, and meat was one of the things that chefs are constantly asking for. And I'm needing to make a recommendation. And we met, and I saw what Adrian and Dan are doing with Corner Post Meats, and it really it's an umbrella to really good food where they started. I don't want to tell the story because I want Adrian to tell it, but it's raising animals in a place that they've protected the land, and it's really a bird sanctuary, and we'll go into more of that. We're doing a big thing with them next week. I'm really excited because the Audubon Society, the Savory Institute, and the Nature Conservancy are all teaming together with us to give a little talk next Thursday, and that's going to be something really cool that we're doing here in town. But tell a little bit about you all are located down in Larkspur.
That was a lot there. Yeah. Wow.
I know.
I was sitting here sharing this post just casually, and I was like, where in the world? That's good. So a lot of passion. And you're right. When you get into this business of where people are now starting to understand, care about where their food comes, care about how it's raised, the produce business all on its own, I say, if you work with Growers Organic, chances are utilizing Bryan Freeman and the great sourcing that he does throughout the state and beyond, that kind of sets the standard, the benchmark for me. Seeing that aligning these relationships and obviously the ethos of what you guys care about is very similar in those senses. So what do you look for as far as when you're sourcing products?
Well, so we
Who
raise.
you work with?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you're
we
raising.
we raise a lot of the animals. We work with other ranchers as well, whether it's ranchers who have mamas and babies, and then we finish them at the ranch. But our whole goal is that we're utilizing animals as a tool to make the land better.
There we go.
And then that's what makes tasty meat. Ultimately, it's all got to come back to that's what we're all eating, and we're voting with our fork or with our food dollar in order to have better land management, better animal husbandry. So that's our goal, is to be that, not only doing it ourselves, but then also working with other ranchers to be that outlet, and then be that direct connection to the end eater, to where we all know that that what we're eating matters and has that conservation value, has that kind of higher ethos, if you will. of what's happening with the animal and on the land.
Dan?
Yes, sir. Here he
Can you
is.
tell I'm normally the chattier one?
I concur. No, it's a mindset. And again, when I talk about partnerships, there are other ranches that you work with as well. How do you vet out those ranches? What do you look for?
You know, a lot of it really comes down to finding the personal connection. They believe in what we're doing. They understand what we're trying to get to market, the story we're trying to tell to our customers, and they want to be a part of it. And then second to that is our partners with the Audubon Society that are trying to bring validity to what we're saying about taking care of the land. Animals on the landscape is a good thing. Done the right way, it's extremely beneficial for wildlife habitat, for grasslands.
What's the right way? That's what I'm driving at. What's the right way here? Where do we live? I mean, different preferences. You can be certified organic, grass-fed, grass-finished, grass-fed, corn-finished, corn-fed, corn-finished. Where you take it to slaughter,
Pasture raised, feedlot raised.
So what are those things that we're looking for?
It starts with people. We're really the artists in the whole thing, right? To where it's finding the right people, that the way that they're managing their animals, and then partnering with the right chefs who want to tell that story to their customers. To where ultimately, when somebody walks into a restaurant, and they want the experience they're looking for, they want a good meal, for one thing. And then the cool thing about food now, I think, is people want to know there's so much more to it. And gosh, I can ramble on about that for another hour if you got the time.
Well,
but
I think we should, because I think it's a great segue into what I want to talk about, and that's where our road trip 2019 comes into, where the Modern Eater, myself, Bryan, Jay, we set out on the road for about 8-9 days, and what we believe is source some of the best products from some of the finest people here in Colorado. I'd like to talk more about our road trip itself, and there it is. Corner Post is going to be probably one of our first stops in Colorado Springs, and then we'll talk about taking that story and bringing it back to the summer dinner series that we do here in the kitchen in July and August with some great chefs that care about the same thing. It's telling the stories. It's the message that I really think a lot of people are like-minded, and when they get it, they get it. They know, and that's one of the things that's very important to us. So let's take that break, and we'll come back. And Adrian and Dan, luckily, they came down just on a kind of a short invitation.
I know. It was super cool that the stars aligned to have them here tonight. So it's really cool.
Little Rich is in the Little Rich Corner. And we always say that if you don't like commercials, head on over to Facebook, because you get a treat with a little bit extra of Little Rich. So we'll take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll continue this conversation with Corner Post. And we have Bill from Smok here. We also have Rocky Mountain Organic Farms. They've moved their farms to Gray Wolf Resorts. There's a lot of cool things that they have going on there. And then we have a great beer company here tonight, and then also Aaron from Elevation Ketchup. So if that's not enough, I don't know what is. We'll take that break, and we'll come right back. And that's it right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. We'll throw it to Little Rich on the Modern Eater Show.
Atrevida Beer Company is the name of the brewery. We're down in Colorado Springs, one stoplight south of UCCS on Nevada and Mountain View Lane.
Nice. So I-25, hang left, you're right there.
Pretty much.
Now, how long have you been open?
We actually just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, so we're babies in the industry, but we're getting there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's your favorite beer? If I was to come in,
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
okay, I want to jump in the pool. What should I drink?
Probably my Drunken Churro wet beer. It's
Churro wet beer?
wit beer.
How do you not love that?
Right?
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm going to go with the lemongrass and lime coast. It's a favorite. Everybody likes it. Very bright beer. Excellent after you cut the grass. It just wakes you up. So it's awesome beer.
See, I think that's something that people should go down, have one of each,
There
and
you
make
go.
up their own.
Why not? Yeah.
Hours. What are your hours that you're open?
Hours, we're open from 1 to 9 o'clock on weekdays, and then the weekends from noon to 10:30.
Awesome. Go down to Colorado Springs, see Atrevida.
Come on and see us.
Place to hang, It's about quality. It's about taste. It's about passion. Infused with American spirit. Rocker whiskey, rocker rum, rocker vodka. Get ready for an original look, feel, and experience. Old Town Littleton. And if you get hungry while you're sipping on some drinks, they've got the best food truck line in town. Open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Rockerspirits.com. Rockerspirits.com.
Hi, I'm Andrew Moore, brewmaster at the Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project. At Intrepid Sojourner, beer tells a story inspired by my adventures as a well-traveled archaeologist. My recipes draw inspiration from all over the world, from historical styles like satis, greitzers, and kvass, to adjunct beers inspired by flavors from international cuisines. My beers broaden the horizons of what beer can be. Explore Basil IPA and Turkish Coffee Stout. Enjoy Chai Brown Ale. Taste Lavender Tripel and the distinctive Horchata Milk Stout. Thoughtfully sourced spices and herbs enhance flavor to indigenous beer styles. My sincere hope is that Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project will inspire adventure and wanderlust. Come visit the tap room and share your tales with friends and plan your next sojourn. Located at 925 West 8th Avenue in the heart of the Arts District on Santa Fe. For everything Intrepid, look us up online at sojournerbeers.com and remember to drink globally, locally.
Hey, you guys, Jay Parker here for Encore Energy. How much are you paying for your natural gas? Wouldn't you like to save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill? Of course you would. You're not crazy. Encore Energy and Bryan Rizuto can do just that, save you money. Give Bryan a call, 720-245-5771. Maybe you own a restaurant or a brewery and use a ton of natural gas. This is how you save money. Get a free savings review from Bryan Rizuto and Encore Energy. Call Bryan at 720-245-5771. Save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill right now.
Yo, what's up? This is Justin Brunson, Culture Meat and Cheese in Denver Central Market. I'm a meat guy. And you're listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Okay, back at it from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and catching up with our friends from Corner Post Meats. And cool to have Adrian and Dan here with us. When we left off, we were talking about, okay, here we go on June 15th through the 23rd. So on Saturday, we leave out of here, and our first stop, Colorado Springs. So I know, and you guys, I don't know if you know what you were getting yourself into, Brian, but they actually offered, hey, do you want to spend the night?
Yeah.
Now, do you have accommodations for that?
Oh, yeah.
We do. We're actually in the process of converting our headquarters and two of our crew cabins to ranch accommodations, so like Airbnb style. So for those who have been to our summer dinner series in the past, they've seen our headquarters house and whatnot, which is right on the edge of the forest with an awesome view of Pikes Peak. So we're turning that into ranch accommodations so that folks can get down and experience it. When we were talking before the break, we were kind of chatting about some of our standards and other ranchers that we work with and whatnot. And so there's something to coming and experiencing it. You know, you can say, oh, animals are always on pasture, or, you know, we're non-GMO, no corn, no soy on our birds and our pigs. But there's something about seeing that, like, the animals are actually moved. It's not just rotationally grazed and they move twice a year, that they're moved once a week and that they're always on their highest plane of nutrition, and that makes healthy animals. So all of that to say, when you guys come down, you can see it and that you can smell it and experience it, and that it doesn't stink. You know, farms don't stink, and they shouldn't. But so that's something that we're super excited about, to offer more of those
personal,
those direct experiences to where we can be that connection for folks to get back to their food and the land.
This is a little awkward because I was going to put them up in the barn when they come down.
We'll take it. Hey,
Yeah.
beggars can't be.
Barn,
Pitch
pool,
a tent.
pond.
Yeah.
I'm fine with a pond. I can do that.
Exactly.
We better.
Yeah, I just figured you guys would be real fun to drink whiskey with around a fire pit, and so that's why I was like, we should have you guys stay at the
I
ranch.
think
That sounds like a
Yeah,
real
let's
good
get that
time.
one on the radio. Can we do that? Is that
Yes,
legal?
we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We will do a show that night.
There might be a
'Cause-
bleep or two in there, but
Well, we can do it on Facebook. There's no
there we go.
no
rules.
filters. Yeah, no rules.
Plenty of rules, Brian. We
Yeah.
always have rules. There are filters. So here's what I want to do. It's kind of the lay of the land of what our trip is, and then we'd like to talk about what we'll experience at Corner Post. But as we're in Colorado Springs on Saturday, we're going to try and check out Brother Luck's place, and we're going to try and check out Distillery 291. We're going to check out who else is down in Colorado Springs? Beast and Brews, Jason.
Beast and Brews are up a little bit north of the Springs there. You know,
Takes
we've
an
got
hour.
little great grocery stores down there that we always pop in and refill at Mountain Mama down in Colorado Springs, and our friends, you know, doing it right now. But you have some, you know, sharing some of your great relationships. So talk about some of the people you work in Colorado Springs. I know you work with the Broadmoor.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with Broadmoor. You guys should go to the Summit. They have a smoked jowl, like shaved BLT sandwich right now. That's stellar. So yeah, Ristorante del Lago, the Summit, and the Penrose Room. All three have. Ooh, and the Golden Bee. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah, one of those
Sorry,
Broadmoor
guys.
properties.
You have all their
Right?
restaurants.
Yeah, so we've been doing a ton of work with them. In fact, Dan and I made an emergency roaster pig delivery yesterday for a party that they've got coming up this next week. So we do a ton of work with those guys, and they're awesome. They support a ton of local businesses, but you know, keep it kind of on the down low because it's such a small percentage of their sourcing because they're such a huge resource. But they make a huge impact on a lot of folks in the Pikes Peak region. So we're super excited to work with them. Colorado Craft down the Tejon Street Social. So that's right downtown. They've got our lamb and our pork on their menu right now.
What's really interesting is this is like all about education too, because you know one of the things that I wanted to chime in earlier when you were saying that we can stay at the farm or at the ranch, and you're creating a sort of a bed and breakfast or an Airbnb ranch stay. I think that's so important because when people see where their food comes from, when people know the story behind their food, it makes the difference to me. And so I don't mind paying $15 for a hamburger at all. If I know that the way the meat was raised, if I know the quality sourcing that the company is doing, but a lot of times you don't know what that is, and people don't really tell their story that well, and especially at the restaurants, you know, and then you have to be suspicious sometimes, because sometimes some of those people that are really working hard at telling a story aren't really walking the story that they're telling, and I find that interesting. Recently, I read an article about a chef up in Boulder that was talking about bringing in his meat from New Zealand and saying how that was a smaller footprint because the way that the meat is raised in New Zealand. And I don't know that I agree with that, because still bringing that meat all the way over from another continent has an impact. I mean,
what I appreciate is the transparency, though. At least they told you, hey, this is New Zealand.
Yeah.
And be proud of it. You know, I think that's really what hurts the industry is tell them what it is. If it's South American beef or New Zealand beef or whatever it is, just say what it is. Don't let people think it's one thing and then it's another. That hurts us all, everybody in the industry.
I think you're right. I really do.
Bravo, though. I really respect your opinion on that.
That's Whole Foods you were talking about, right? It is, right?
Is it? Well, yeah. I know that they have another. This is a guy up in Boulder, and I don't sling mud, but I was just really shocked because you know one of his big creeds up in Boulder is he buys everything local, and I've always challenged that for years and years and years. But then to read this article about, you know, defending that, but you know what? Bravo, because Daniel, I mean, the way that what you're saying is give him a hand, Brian, because at least he's being honest, as opposed to those other people that, you know, I constantly see. It's been one of the things that's driven me crazy in this industry is when you see on somebody's menu organic and local when possible. You know, that's just like the biggest cop-out in my eyes, because the reality is if you work hard, it's always possible.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're working with small indoor people in the winter, we have the ecosystem here in Colorado. It's one of the very few places, I would say, you know, here out on the West Coast, some places up in the Northeast, that people take pride in making sure everything that they're doing is
and
local.
And it's partnerships and commitment, too.
Yes.
I mean, in that line of work, you really have to build these partnerships and commit to folks like you to say, here's how much we'll take off your hands, and stick with that. Just because, I mean, listen, there are a lot of places that we know of that really wouldn't be in business if it wasn't for direct and working directly with chefs as well.
I think it's about. Oh, sorry
no,
to,
you're fine.
to catch you there at the end. But I think it's also about the accountability piece. So, in my mind, the issue with the New Zealand piece is then there's a lot of distance between that accountability. There's something to feeding your community, however you define community, whether that's, you know, regionally or nationally or whatever, but that that there is that accountability to, I can look you in the face and say, hey, this is what's going on, or this is who I work with, or, this is where I'm delivering, these are the ranchers that I work with, that there is that transparency piece instead of the, our name is still on the menu of, name the restaurant that we haven't worked with in 6 months or something like that. And that's where I think that lack of transparency or that deception gets frustrating, instead of that accountability of feeding your community, and then you can kind of build that transparency and the accountability from there.
So finding those stories, and as we head out of Colorado Springs, we're taking a sharp left-hand turn into Lamar, Colorado.
Yeah.
Quite a bit out of the ways, but the sunflower fields and Colorado Mills sunflower products, we really enjoy those guys, and they work with a lot of local farmers around there, the Eulens being one of them. And can't wait to hear their stories. And we'll backtrack, and we'll head up to Salida, Colorado.
Yep.
And
For our fish farm.
Before you go to Salida, we use Colorado Mills in our grain mix for our
Do you
pigs.
really?
Yeah, so they're awesome both on the restaurant side with the oils, or even the home consumer on the oils, but then on the feed side, they're fantastic. Yeah, for us to be able to source local grains and work directly with farmers like that, and then have that in our feed. Yeah, Sunflower Mills. Awesome.
Isn't that amazing? I mean,
Sorry,
no
so
one
keep
knows.
going.
Well, Colorado Mills, 90% of their business is actually the feed, and 10% of what they do is really just the oil. And it's it's a product that I fell in love with. Every chef I let touch falls in love with. They've got, and all the people that use their feed. I've never heard anyone say anything bad. Only super positive stuff. I mean, and this is a shout out to Zach if you're out there in Radio Land listening. I just had a restaurant ask me, can we get them small sunflowers, whole sunflowers? They want to do a dish with sunflower heads. And see if Zach can't tie into that as well for me.
Well, in Colorado Mills, then they're breathing life into Lamar. I don't know if you guys have been to Lamar before. My family is from down that way, and there's not a vibrant economy down there, and so creating jobs for
goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely, for small town America.
Yeah,
So sorry, you're going to Salida next.
Yeah, and another place, a rabbit farm and alpaca farm called Jefferson Farms Fiber Ranch, I believe. They are selling rabbits, and they use the Colorado Mills feed as well there. So we'll make the stop through, and we're going to source some rabbits, and then head down to Saguache, where your friend Tom McCracken is. And
well, he's in right outside of Crestone, but in Saguache is our friend Kermit.
Kermit Krantz from
Kermit Krantz.
Frontier Trout Farm.
Yep.
Frontier Trout Farm. Out of there, it's going to get busy because we're heading down into Durango, have a few stops there. We're going to do a show at Ska Brewing Company because I love that brewery. And then headed up for a couple of days to Hotchkiss and Paonia to Big B's. Just spend 30 seconds to talk about what Jeff Schwartz is doing at Big B's.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, this is a guy that is really trying to use every piece of what he incorporates into his business. So he has a juice company. So he's taking the apples and the pears, the fruit off of the trees, and making juice with it. Then he sells the wood, and we're tying in to our friends with Proud Souls with his wood. So he's using the wood from the apple trees because every year they thin the trees. They've got that extra wood, so he's using that. On top of that, he takes the apple and he makes a vinegar with it, an incredible apple cider vinegar. Then he also makes spirit. He's done the hard cider. Yeah. And so all the way around,
the whole spectrum
of everything that he does, and he grows peaches for me every year. He has peaches. He has apricots that come on. Yeah. He does a great job. Oh, by the way, he has concerts at his little venue there that we saw.
Plenty of camping.
Yep.
So that's the summer solstice. It's the 21st of June, which is the summer solstice, and we're going to have a big camp out, cookout, just awesome. A blast. If you guys can join us, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It's after Father's
Well
Day
planned.
weekend. Yeah, for the summer solstice.
Yes, it's going to be. Well, it's going to be interesting because Telluride Bluegrass is going on as we're going to be driving through there. We're going to be
Aspen Food and Wine.
Aspen Food and Wine is that. I mean, it's a big couple weeks right there in June.
And then into Palisade, lots going on in Palisade and Field to Fork. Hoping to catch up with Jess and Scott over there at Field to Fork, and then we'll head back home with a lot of goodies.
Yep. Well, and remember, we're going to be there right in the beginning of the cherry
Yeah.
Cherry crop
Yeah.
is going to be coming on right there. And by the way, I heard this year is we are going to have, the once in every 5 year, but it's even going to be bigger cherry crop. So that's going to be really interesting. Do you ever feed any of your animals, any livestock? I've heard about people feeding their hogs cherries and chocolate. I don't know if you've ever heard about that. It does something for the fat. It just doesn't sound right to me, but it'll be really. It's going to be.
Cherries
That's
and chocolate.
Yeah, cherries and chocolate. Someone said that if you feed pigs, that it does something to their fat.
And it's chocolate flavored bacon.
Ooh, I like that. If you feed the tuna mayonnaise, can we have a tuna fish sandwich?
They said, Brian, if you keep eating cherries and chocolate, you're going to be a pig.
Oh, was that what? Did I get that backward? It's my
That's probably what it
dyslexia.
was.
That must have been my dyslexia.
So
there.
don't ruin us with the whiskey at the beginning of the trip for the whole time.
Oh no, ruin
Don't.
us! You
It's-
said ruin
don't.
us.
Are you sure?
Well, it's like going to Las Vegas. I never go for a week. 2 days is plenty.
You see that cowboy belt? Don't make him take it off. He's gonna abuse us. I hope.
I can't wait to see you guys. I think we're going to do a whole show down there on June 15th. So
Yeah, that'll be a hoot.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Looking forward to seeing you guys then too. Thanks for letting us catch up with you, and we'll be in contact to make the arrangements in the barn. we have no problem with that. Okay, here we go. We're going to head off and talk to Smok, and our friend Bill here is with us. Chef Bill's going to be up next. And I think Little Rich is in the corner with Aaron from Elevation Ketchup. So we'll take a break on our iHeart Station 630 KHOW, and we'll be back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado in just a few minutes here.
Hello, Facebook and YouTube family. Holy cow. Great segment from our friends at Corner Post. And I've got Mr. Ketchup here, Aaron Wagner from Elevation Ketchup. Maybe you've seen it in the stores, maybe you haven't because they're always sold out. Aaron, what's happening in the world at Elevation Ketchup? What's
busy.
new?
We're busy. We're cranking it out. We're having a lot of fun. We're working our tails off, and it's good. We're constantly pushing everything.
A little birdie tells me you got a couple new accounts this week.
Yes, we did. The old Silver Bullet Lounge at DIA in the C Terminal.
Nice. Our
Awesome
friend
spot.
Wee Fam.
We's taking care of us in the mod market as well, modern
Awesome.
market.
Awesome. No, you're
So-
going into tapas too, is that
Yes,
correct?
the tapas too. So we've got our ketchup there and something else new.
What's that?
The Bloody Mary.
Oh my God,
The
we've
Bloody
had
Mary.
this. That's incredible.
It is great stuff.
That's incredible.
Vegan, soy-free, gluten-free, as clean as you can possibly get.
Restaurateurs, if you want to be Colorado, use this ketchup. It's the best out there.
Give us a call. Call Rich on his cell phone.
No, we won't do that. We won't
I'll
do
give
that.
you his number next segment.
Thanks. We'll be right back after a few words from our sponsors.
Association. You've probably heard the excitement. This year, we are creating a stir in the culinary community. This is your personal invitation to join us on our constant culinary adventure. Let us open up our network to you and help you grow professionally. Whether you are a chef, purveyor, brewer, baker, we are here to build your brand, your business, and connect you with Colorado's culinary community. Join us. I'd love to hear from you. Email me, Colleen at acfcoloradochefs.org.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you too want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills. Want to bake the best? Bake with the best. Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas and the Modern Eater. Our wraps fold cold and don't break open, yet they're soft and delicious. What's my secret? Ardent Mills. Organic, ancient, and heirloom grains like quinoa, spelt, and more. Locally headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Ardent Mills provides the industry's broadest range of traditional and organic flours, whole grains, customized blends, and specialty products dedicated to providing the culinary industry with the next grains and unique plant-based ingredients. I love Ardent Mills, and I know you will too. To bake the best, you must use the best. Learn more at ardentmills.com.
Hey, this is Brother Luck from Colorado Springs. All right, you ready? Owner of 4 by Brother Luck and Lucky Dumplings. I mean, he's a very, very impressive man. And you're rocking with the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Okay, back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado. And Facebook viewers, we are trying to figure out that audio for you right now, but live on iHeart 630 KHOW. You can watch along. I'm just watching the Facebook Live as I'm eating one of these delicious tacos with Bill. Chef Bill, I'm not even going to try and destroy your name, so why don't you introduce yourself and from Smok.
Bill Espiricueta from Smok in Denver, Colorado.
You say that so nice. You must have practiced that a lot.
A few years.
Yeah.
Espiricueta.
There you go. Nailed it.
Boom.
Espiricueta?
Espiricueta.
Wow. So let me ask you, teachers never had a hard time with that when you were growing up?
It was actually in the spelling, like, you know how they have the spelling bees every week in, like, elementary school? It was on the list a couple times.
Oh, really? Your last name. Now, where'd you come from?
I was born in Austin, lived there for about 12 years, and then my family moved to Kansas City, lived there until I was about 22, off and on for the next 7 years.
That's really interesting. Neither of those places are known for their barbecue at all.
No.
They, you know, I mean, no one, who knows what, does anyone know
check this
barbecue
out.
in Austin or Kansas City? Kansas City barbecue? What?
Barbecue came late in his career here.
Yeah, I moved here, and I had been a fine dining chef for almost about 20 years. Moved to Colorado in 2012 and was missing, didn't realize what I was missing, which was barbecue once we moved here, or once I moved here. I sought out barbecue like I do at home, or like I've always done my whole life, 2 or 3 times a week eating barbecue, and couldn't really find it. So over the past 5.5 years, I was fortunate enough to have a great boss who let me do a lot of demos and testing out of the restaurant and doing pop-ups out of Acorn, and grew this into a restaurant that it is now.
That's fantastic. Kind of opportunity to seize, right?
Yeah, a lot of restaurants have those early struggles. I was fortunate enough to hit the ground running. All the testing and the demos and procedures and everything was all ready to roll. So we opened and just...
How would you describe Smok to those that haven't been?
You know, just recently we kind of solidified what we are. We're Kansas City style barbecue.
Okay.
In Colorado, I think there's a lot of people, at least a lot of barbecue places that are trying to identify themselves as Colorado barbecue or Texas style. I think there's a lot of Texas style places.
I've asked that question: is there a Colorado style barbecue?
I think
and the answer has resoundingly been no, and there shouldn't be, which kind of blew my mind. But they were like, leave it to the regions that are already successful.
I think yes. I think, you know, Jason at GQ, he prides himself on being competition barbecue. I think Wayne's up in Superior is Texas style. Albert just opened. He's 100% Texas style. I think the closest thing to what that question is going to be roaming buffalo. He does lend himself to those game meats. He has that on the menu. He tries to kind of focus on that. So, but Colorado's a melting pot, or at least Denver is now.
Yes.
So everyone's coming from their certain regions, and I just wanted to offer something to the people that live in the city that reminds them of where they come from.
Well, I wonder if there will be. I mean, I just got to say this, and because last week I didn't really get into this too much. There will be, I think, something that is sort of your Rocky Mountain barbecue, because I do think at some point
it'd be a melding. I think
it's a meld. I mean, we really are, because at some point it will take on its own identity. It has to, right? I mean, you have this melting pot of where guys are using, you know, like a Kansas City's, right? More of a dry. You guys are more of a dry rub, right? Is it Kansas City, or is that a wet rub? I mean, I'm not as familiar with barbecue. I'm gonna lean on you, Bill, for being the expert.
When you get into Kansas City, because everyone was coming there, because of the cattle, all the beef was coming through Kansas City. Kansas City's burn ends. They do ribs style of Memphis. They do not so much Texas brisket, Carolina pork. It's a little bit of a melting pot. It's become specific to like burn ends, and the sauce is more vinegar and like rub oriented. Texas is a little sweeter sauce. Carolina is obviously a lot of vinegar. Kansas City kind of has a little bit of all of that.
Oh, okay.
It's like pizza here in Denver. There's really no pizza identity, and I don't know if they'll ever. And a lot of people want to do good pizza here. A lot of people want to do great barbecue here as well.
I have a couple identities on pizza, man. One is Crush Tap. I love what he's doing over there. But then there's another identity with someone like Saza, our friends over at Saza Pizzeria, who are doing that super thin Italian style, super thin crust.
And I think the point being is I think Denver struggles with a lot of footing in any food genre, as much as we're really making strides with great people and great chefs and a lot of restaurants. But catching up to really what is that. There's not really one thing you can say, okay, Denver's known for that food-wise.
So, Greg, let me ask you, how do you, though, feel because we are a cowboy town, right? I mean, and is that why you think our identity is just starting to develop now? Because we were always sort of your meat and potatoes kind of town in Denver. You know, I mean, you look at your Denver omelet was what? Just ham and eggs. And so we've always been that meat and potato kind of place. And I just think we're developing right now. We are maturing as a food community here because we're really trying to find our own way.
I think every sort of genre of food or culture of food, being it barbecue or Italian or Thai or Vietnamese or Chinese, they're all starting to solidify in that particular category because there's not a lot of any one of those specific things that's great here. There's still people moving here, and there's people that are making changes. I think, in general, the past 10 years, there's been a huge advancement in the flavors and the quality of products coming out of the
I agree.
The city.
Completely agree. I'm just hoping that we get that footing to where you go, okay, Denver does have great pizza. Denver does have great barbecue. And I think, you know, when it comes to in the United States, a lot of other regions are what are you looking at, Brian?
Oh, no, I'm watching. We've got another chef in the house, and he's starting to cut some stuff up. I was watching him sniff the whiskey, make sure he's putting some good stuff in his food there. We got Talnua up on the table there.
Nathan Rockwood's here with us. At your restaurant, you have, and Smok, again, Bill here with us. At your restaurant, you serve a lot of different various items. Are these tacos that you gave us today on your menu?
They are. So having come from Austin, I was seeking out a tortilla to do for our breakfast because Austin's known for their breakfast tacos. So I was lucky enough to come across Carmelo out of Lawrence, Kansas, who makes Sonoran-style tacos. He hand makes all these, delivers them out once a week to me. So I was looking for those for my breakfast, and I was like, I have brisket, I have pulled pork, let's make tacos, put them on the menu. And they actually become one of our best sellers next to the burnt ends. And it's a great compliment to barbecue. I think flour tortillas, just because that's how I grew up, is eating flour tortillas with
pretty much everything.
Barbecue
Yeah.
in Texas. Not so much a Kansas City thing. This is what would be one of the major Texas things that we have on our menu. So yes, we do sell these, and we sell a lot of them, and they're really good.
As far as spices go, how important are spices? How that they play into barbecue and barbecue life in general?
I think you need to have good quality spices. Our brisket's just salt and pepper. Our rub has a bunch of different spices. We were fortunate enough to come across Spice Guy, and he's now making our sauce or our rub blend.
He is.
He is making our rub blend.
Maybe we could break there and come back, and Zach can join us as well since he's in the house, and we can just mix it up and talk about barbecue and spices. That'd be fun, and you have a new relationship built. So we'll have Zach on. He's got the little baby here with a Parker.
But first, what we need to do is we need to cut over to Rich.
Yeah, let's
get
cut
some
over to Rich.
Facebook time, and we're going to take a commercial on iHeartRadio here.
All right, he's got Adrian in the corner here, in the little Rich corner. So we'll take a break on iHeart Facebook. Continue on with us. I think we've got our audio problems straightened out there on Facebook, and we'll take that break. We'll come right back. It is the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Thanks, Greg. Well, hopefully on this segment, I've got my mic on. They're all on. Everyone can hear all the stuff coming out of here. I've got Adrian from Corner Post here. Look at this. Here, look at this picture from the Audubon certified, folks. It doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly. So we lease our land from the National Audubon Society. So on all of our beef products, we've got the Audubon certified, which is their habitat management certification. So we use all of our animals as part of our habitat management, but certifications on our beef.
You are so cool. Now, how did you even find this out? How do you jump in on something like that?
Well, so like I said, we lease our land from the National Audubon Society. So we're actually the pilot program within their Audubon Conservation Ranching program. And so we were the first product to have the Audubon certified badge.
Corner Post. They're at the top of the chain. If you want to be at the top of the chain, get this, serve this. And where do you find out about? That's right. And where do you find out about these things?
CornerPostMeats.com.
Corner Post Meats and The Modern Eater.
Ooh, yeah,
Folks,
that's
we're
right.
going to take a quick break and let you listen to some words from some of our curated sponsors. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Hey, it's Peter Allman with South River Aquaponics.
Live in 220.
Get the importance of conserving our limited water supply. Did you know Colorado is suffering from the most severe drought since 2012? Water shortages are very real, especially to Colorado farmers. Now here's the good news. Aquaponic farming uses 90% less water than traditional farming, while producing 4.5 times more food per square foot. Using traditional farming techniques, farmers would flood their fields with large quantities of water, leaving much of this water underutilized and just plain wasted. But because aquaponics is a recirculating system, the only water used is what the plants uptake and some very minor evaporation. South River Aquaponics has been running a 55,000-gallon system year-round for 4 years, and we use less than 500 gallons of water per day. Education is very important to us here at South River Aquaponics. I invite you to learn more about aquaponics at southriveraquaponics.com. South River Aquaponics, the future of farming.
Hey Colorado, this is Brian Freeman, owner of Growers Organic and a host on the Modern Eater Talk Show. Growers Organic is a Colorado sourcing company who provides Colorado's greatest chefs with the best organic produce. I've been partnering with local and regional farms for the last 20 years, and our returning customers know they can count on us over and over again. Chefs who receive the highest rating on Good Food 100 choose Growers Organic for their organic produce needs because we're experts at bridging the gap.
Live in 1 minute.
Join us in the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at Chris at
Live in 10.
or by phone at 303-296-76.
4, 3, 2. You're hot.
No,
Sorry.
you will too.
Didn't think I was getting pulled.
Okay, here we go. The Modern Eater Show continues in just a moment. Right now, Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. We've been seeing some Jeff Rourke projects, one being Beats and Brews in Colorado Springs and 100 tap lines that are self-serve. What an amazing project that is. And from the biggest dreams to the smallest dreams of just getting a tap line added, Jeff Rourke can do it for you. Jeff Rourke wants you to have an A-plus on your report card for your tap system. Nothing worse when you go into a bar or a brewery, the wheels are falling off, they're pouring foamy beer, the temperature's off.
Pour a pitcher of foam to get one pitcher of beer.
It's a terrible thing because if you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Please don't pour your money down the drain. It's just a phone call away. Grab a pen. Jeff Rourke is the man, a family man, 20 years in the business, specialty tap installations, beer, wine, water, coffee, nitro. Make your tap dreams reality by calling 720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions.
This is the Modern Eater. And now it's time for In the Kitchen.
How am I supposed to keep feeding you and kill people?
Brought to you by Proud Barbecue and Provisions. Award-winning competition cooks and purveyors of specialty barbecue supplies right here in Denver, Colorado. ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
All night long, we can do that. We love the boys over there at Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. And as Chef Bill from Smok continues on with us, and Zach Johnston, the Spice Guy, joins us. I look behind us, and this is the first time you played with this Yoder, huh, Bill?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it's great.
Pretty cool, multi-functional. If you're on Facebook Live, we always have this Everdor spinning chickens. It's a great open fire grill here, but this Yoder we're just trying to get used to right now. I love this Yoder.
Yeah, it's been great. Heated up the tortillas and sausage just fine.
Perfect. You guys, Zach, Bill, you guys met last week?
That was the first time, yeah.
Very cool. Just start striking up conversations. What do you do? Oh, I have a restaurant. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I have spices.
I'd actually already Facebook stalked Bill before I met him, so I knew who he was.
One of the things
internet.
Zach is a professional, folks. If you've ever worked with someone that knows their business, knows what he's doing, knows how to create a relationship with someone and how to understand what someone's looking for. Because, I was doing interviews last week looking for an additional salesperson to add on. And I was really surprised someone even came in the building.
Does Spencer have bad news on Monday morning?
Oh, no. He needs help. He's driving that bus so fast, it's like speed, There's a bomb on it, and he can't take his foot off of the gas. But what's interesting is I was surprised that people walk in and don't even know about my business and what I do. And so what you just heard Zach say is what a true business professional does before they come and introduce
Your
themselves.
homework? Wow.
Yes. Isn't that a novel concept? Thank you.
Yeah. What'd you figure out? What was your approach when you see something? You said barbecue kills it for you, right?
Yep. Well, we've been saying that, right? We love the barbecue guys. Like I said, it's easy for both of us. So, our shtick is we could save you a little bit of money and maybe increase the quality and definitely increase the freshness for sure. I think all those things hit. Bill and I got together at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week, we had some magic going.
Yeah, what is that magic? You mentioned a rub just for you.
Yeah, so I just sent him my recipe. The next day, he had a sample over to me. Like you said, better quality. I think it's a great partnership right out of the gate. It was probably the easiest thing that I've done since I opened the restaurant was hand him my rub, and now it's set back.
Was there any tweaks to it, Bill? Did Zach come back and say, oh, by the way, you're using this, we might cut that down a little bit, might help your flavor?
I don't think you want to hear that, do you?
Well, I'm curious. Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
There was, I think, rubs at this kind of quantity and volume, you have to use a dehydrated brown sugar. And he made the conversion from my regular brown sugar and my recipe that I sent him was regular brown sugar. And at the restaurant, we don't want to be breaking clumps up because it needs to be dried already, so we can work through it really quickly. He made that conversion. The product he actually sent me was better than the product that I was using before. The granules before I was using were a little bit bigger, so we'd have to let it sit there and melt into the ribs or the chicken before we put it on. So it's actually a better product that we ended up with.
See, that's exactly what I love to hear, because the fact is Zach didn't, like what I was saying is he didn't change your recipe, but he improved upon something that you were doing to create scalability. So now all of a sudden, you can have what you wanted to do in 1 pound.
Brian.
Yeah, you like that?
And point well taken is that you really want to lean on an expert of, here's the recipe, here's what I really want, and if there's any kind of improvements, suggesting it is something that you would do. That point about giving somebody your recipe, now you have a non-disclosure, don't you, Zach? How does that work if somebody comes to you and says, I've got this top secret recipe, I'd like to do production with you, but I don't want to let it go?
Yeah, well, Bill's a badass. He just said we don't even need that, which is my preferred way to do business also. Just handshake and go and trust each other that we're not going to do anything weird. But yeah, with the non-disclosures, we have them signed every day. We actually are going to do one with Romy for their sausage with Chris.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so he came to the blend bar the other day, and he hung out for like an hour, and Danny and I both made him a few combinations of some new stuff he's working on. So that'll all be proprietary for him, the stuff that we made. So we'll do NDAs.
That's great, because that was one of Chris's concerns. Was, the reason why I've coveted and kept it in-house is I just don't want anybody knowing our trade secrets.
Well, that's the only thing you own if you have a co-packer. You don't own the process. You only own the recipe.
That's too much. That's cool. This guy right here, a sponsor of the show, Bryan Rizuto, step on up to the plate here. Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
We're just, going back and forth, talking a little spices, talking a little barbecue, and talking about saving money, too. I hear today's going to, so Bryan Rizuto, Encore Energy, and if you have natural gas needs, it's as easy as what you're about to see with Little Rich. But what's going to happen here at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock, when Rich catches up with you?
So I'm going to talk about how easy it is to save money on natural gas here in Colorado. It's very simple. You call me, I do all the work because I know how busy people are. And the average savings on a gas transport customer is between 5 and upwards of 20%, doing nothing different except using our gas.
And in a business, a lot of the food and beverage businesses, whether it's a brewery or a company like Little Rich, the margins, that's a big thing to be able to save that amount of money. Little Rich is going to open up the books, right, and talk exactly how much money he's going to save. Is it going to be a number that, will be taken back by?
Absolutely, absolutely. Rich is a really good user of natural gas, so he's a middle-of-the-road user, so he uses quite a bit. But even the smaller customers, like a smaller restaurant, smaller bar, can save quite a bit of money. So, absolutely.
Just giving you a holler. I know a lot of people hear the commercials, but that's the voice, Bryan Rizuto, who you'll work with. The phone number that people can contact you directly is what?
It's 720-245-5771. 720-245-5771.
Really, if you're into saving money and wait until you hear the testimonial Little Rich will give at 7 o'clock, you've got the paperwork ready for him to sign it?
I sure do.
It's going to be interesting.
Well,
Thanks
Greg,
for
let me
stopping.
tie these guys into it, because the reality is every restaurant in town is using. So listen, Smok might use a lot of charcoal. They need a little gas to get it lit.
I think.
But then the reality is they have other items that they're cooking behind there. I'm guarantee every restaurant uses gas, because every professional chef loves gas. The bigger you are, the bigger the savings could be if you're moving to Encore.
Absolutely.
Well said. I like it. Brian, you got a future in the natural
thanks.
gas business. I like it a lot. All right, thank you so much, Brian. I can't wait to see this segment with Little Rich. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes on Facebook Live. In the meantime and in between time, got to thank these guys. You were just Johnny on the spot today. Called you up, Bill, and here you were making delicious food from Smok. I would encourage everybody to go down and see you. Give them the address of where they can find you.
We're at 3330 Brighton Boulevard out in Rhino in the new Source complex.
The Source Hotel. And so if you're from out of town, or if you're on the fringes of Denver, come in town, stay the night at the Source, and eat dinner at Smok.
Your one-stop shop. That's cool. I can't wait to follow the relationship here with Zach and to taste that rub that he's going to make for you guys. Zach, as always, I mean, you're here every weekend.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you live next door, this is easy.
It's hard to not to come for dinner, right?
Yeah. Am I going to cook, or am I going to go see my friends and get food?
Well, we love seeing your beautiful daughter, Zach.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, you're bringing her around. I love the fact that
The
Zach,
Parker we love.
Well, he's a family guy too, and that's what's cool. Is the reality is Zach is a young guy that started a business through passion. Was
Family man.
up in the Summit County, went to work hard every day, and then brought what his passion and his love
I love
was
the
down to
story, too.
Denver.
Jared, how much time do I have? I don't have a clock. 20 seconds. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Bill, I want to have you back early and often, just learning more about what you do and the delicious food. Maybe we go outside the barbecue box next time and whip up some your stuff. Okay, I think we're close on time, so we'll take that break. Top of the hour. Watch this with Little Rich on Facebook. We'll be back in a flash for second hour of the Modern Eater Show.
All right, now we're in the 6-minute stretch, top of the hour. I want to talk to you guys about something. This is kind of as I call myself Reverend Rich, it's kind of like where I'm going to testify. And that part of the fun of this show is finding these creative things, new ways to improve your product, improve your operation, maybe even lower your costs. There's one that I reached out because I've been using them for, oh my gosh, 4 years?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Something like that. It's been a long time. And we have saved so much money. And we've been able to reinvest that money in machinery, in marketing. Part of our savings, I mean, it helps us in so many ways. Right now, we've got a rare condition in the market. I'm going to kind of let Brian talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to circle around about what we're going to be doing right here.
Absolutely. So I called Rich the other day, and I told him that what's going on in... Yeah, he actually did answer the phone. So I was talking to him about the future gas market here in Colorado. We all see it on the news. There's going to be a lot of changes. So I recommended that he really looks at natural gas as a commodity and locks in a price so he knows exactly what he's going to pay. So he knows exactly what he's going to pay for the next few years. So that's exactly what we did, because we're looking at the price of gas going up. So if you can lock in now and the price goes up, you just made a lot of money.
Well, I mean, like in our case, and not everyone's in that and uses the amount of gas. I mean, there are several people, I'm sure many, that use even more. But I mean, if you're a tortilla baker, if you're a beer brewer, if you're
you're a distiller, if you're anything that's using a lot of gas, take the time and talk to this guy. You'll save a lot of money. In our business, what do we anticipate? Now, there is no crystal ball. We don't know exactly where this is going to go, but we can kind of tell by historical data.
Absolutely. So what I'm looking at with the way the market is heading, if it continues to rise, you could expect a savings next year of between $5,000 and $9,000. That's doing nothing different except buying gas from me versus XL Energy.
You don't have to start with the gas. You know, it's funny, when I started, how ignorant I was. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But I thought I was going to have to reset my oven. I was going to have to adjust the way I'm doing things because there's different gas. There's nothing to do but call Bryan, sit down, sign the paper, and start saving money. And actually, we're going to be doing that right here, right now. Tell me let's share with our viewers what we're doing here today.
Well, today I brought in, Rich agreed to a 3-year fixed price lock. That means he knows exactly what he's going to be paying for his gas for the next 3 years. So I actually brought the paperwork today, right here, and he's going to sign it today, and it's going to set it in stone, and now he'll be able to budget knowing exactly what he's going to pay for his natural gas.
I'm going to run over here and sign this. You'll be able to see me do it.
It's official.
So, Bryan, right there, I probably saved about 15 grand or more.
Absolutely. If we add that up by 3 years, I think you're going to do very, very well.
Well, there aren't professional athletes that get 15 grand to sign their autograph, especially someone like me.
It's off. Dave Avery's trying to troubleshoot.
Special announcement ahead. Get up to $300 off
Rich's
select
mic
Dell
is
and
off.
Alienware computers
Battery's
with Intel
probably
Core
dead.
processors exclusively during Dell's Memorial Day
His
sale.
mic's
Enjoy
off
free
too,
shipping
Bryan
on everything,
Rizuto's.
including electronics and accessories like Bose headphones. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL or go to Dell.com/Memorial Day.
Here's a Denver Spotlight on Business with Ann Hinkins of EKS&H, now a part of Plant Moran, an accounting, tax, consulting, and wealth management firm, about the nonprofit economic outlook.
When these companies want to start out, these nonprofits want to start out, they do come to you, and you can actually kind of guide them in the way they should be doing things to make it easier for them down the road.
Correct. So we try to, again, we do work with startups all the way to, multi-million-dollar, almost billion-dollar nonprofits. But yes, we do kind of give them guidance on, how to complete those forms and all the other things, the registrations from the legal standpoint and with the state and other filings and how they can start business, and then again kind of monitor to make sure that they, again, the IRS checks back in to say, do you still qualify being a charity? Is this worked, or are you really kind of a private foundation?
Get to know Plant Moran at plantmoran.com. That's
Stick mic batteries were dead too.
Replacing your windows and doors with Dream Style Remodeling featuring Pella will help make your home more comfortable this summer. Save 20% off windows, 20% off doors, and 20% off installation with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 1 year. Hurry, this offer ends May 31st. You have less than 1 week left. Dream Style offers innovative Pella windows with Pella's patented Duracast material, the strongest material available for windows. Visit DreamStyleWindows.com to schedule your free consultation. That's DreamStyleWindows.com.
Hey guys, the main culprit of ED are changes that occur in the muscle and vascular system of the erectile tissues. If blood vessels are damaged or impaired, blood can't fill the tissues, causing ED. At Evolution Medical Group, our ED treatment restores function naturally. No pills, no painful needles, no surgery. Just the newest proven technology from Europe using shockwave therapy. The European Association of Urology calls shockwave therapy the gold standard for the treatment of ED. Our FDA-cleared shockwave device breaks up blockages and repairs blood vessels and tissue to restore function and create a new, healthier path for blood to flow, addressing the cause and not just the symptoms of ED. Evolution Medical Group's technology, protocols, and personalized treatment plans are designed to address the root cause of your ED and restore function naturally. If you're ready to regain spontaneity and performance in the bedroom, call Evolution Medical Group at 303-420-8955. That's 303-420-8955. Or go to evolutionmedicalgroup.com. That's evolutionmedicalgroup.com.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear The Sean Hannity Show. Weekdays 1 to 4.
Getting 630
630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
If Denver's talking about it, you'll hear it on 630 KHOW.
The following is a paid advertisement. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of KHOW, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
It's time for the second course, hour number 2 of the Modern Eater.
What are you hungry for?
Here's to a meal we're all here for.
Delicious and tasty.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Gotta cook.
With your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, and Bryan Freeman.
You're hot.
Okay, it's just me here on the Modern Eater Show from Studio Kitchen, Colorado.
Oh, just you. Come on. You've got a whole fan book of friends, family,
This here, Danny Flanagan's
cohorts
here
from
tonight,
work.
Gordon's here tonight. Bill came in tonight, made some delicious tacos for us. And these guys, we were trying to corral them. I don't know. Do you guys know each other?
Nope,
No, you
we do
don't.
now.
All right, Nathan Rockwood, huh?
They do now. They do now.
I have something in my mouth.
Yeah, big time. It's so big, I just want to point out, so it's not on Facebook. But by the way, folks, we are live on Facebook right now. If you want to see our ugly mugs right here live in person, see that.
Let me go back to the introduction, and I'll try and get that out of my tooth there. Nathan, how are you?
I'm
doing
well.
You got Gray Wolf Resort,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that's the home of Rocky Mountain Organic Farm.
It is. We're in the process of moving it. So we are a high-altitude health and wellness center in Victor, Colorado at 10,000 feet. We raise heritage animals and plants. So we bring the finest genetic breeds of plants and animals from all over the world to this resort. And our goal is to bring chefs and foodies and people from kind of all over the world to visit Colorado and learn about agriculture. And what we're doing hopefully is going to work out. So it's a lot of work right now.
Well, it's interesting. You're on that little
moving
dead
up.
end. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it is, and there's fishing just up the road, so it's a lot of the things that I love about Colorado. So there's farming, obviously, foraging. I'm a big forager, hunting and fishing, all in the same area. So I kind of found a way to hopefully be able to enjoy that for the rest of my life and cook because I love cooking.
I know who's man in the kitchen right now.
I know.
We
I
got
was just looking over at the
both
stove to make
chefs.
sure nothing's burning.
Do we need to stir it? I mean, maybe we'll take a break a little earlier so we can get some of this delicious food. And we're standing by also for Blake DeHuff, who's probably in the car listening as he's rushing to get. Is Blake here yet? No,
I think
Blake
he's
yet.
a few minutes away still.
Just a couple of minutes away as we continue, but no easy task to move a farm.
No, well, I mean, farming in its own right is pretty challenging, and so imagine moving a farm with 140-some pigs and chickens and ducks 10,000 feet in the air on the backside of Pikes Peak. So it's a lot of work right now, but it's also very rewarding. So we have a full house right now, actually, back at the resort. It's sold out. Most of August is booked. A lot of July is getting booked, and hopefully we'll get a booked June as well. So
I saw that. How do people go about finding you, first of all?
Easiest way right now is on Facebook, or you can go to GrayWolfResort.com. GrayWolfResort.com is under construction, though. So on Facebook, just look for Gray Wolf Resort. You can check us out. Airbnb, if you're interested in coming out and renting a room or a cabin for the night, you can do that on Airbnb. Again, just search for Gray Wolf Resort in Victor, Colorado.
But Nathan, let me back up for some of the listeners who haven't heard about this. You at Rocky Mountain Organic Farm have been around for a while. It's not like you just woke up yesterday and started this. Where does this Gray Wolf Lodge fall in?
Well, the idea is agritourism. So agriculture is this very important part of society, and I think through agriculture we need to learn about ourselves as a people and hopefully develop our culture within our communities, and food's a very integral part to that. And so the idea here is that we want to promote the values of farming and agriculture, the rural values that I think have been lost. We need to bring those back to the table. And so what we want to do is have our farm be this mecca, so to speak, for people from all over to learn about agriculture. And in that process, we'll be able to make a little bit of a commercial enterprise off of it, which is important to farmers and ranchers because there's not a lot of money to be made when you're competing against these large corporations as a small family-owned farm.
Yeah, so sound like something you'd do, Bill?
For retirement, yeah.
No, go visit.
Oh, I'll go up there and eat. Yeah, for sure.
What are the things that people would? What's a day like? What do you figure that experience?
Well, the guests that are there right now went fishing at Skagway Reservoir, which is just up the road. Of course, we started off with breakfast this morning with duck eggs from the farm and some bacon from our Mangalitsa pig. So you can also go hiking, backpacking, camping. There's just so much to do up in the mountains. And also when it's hot down here on the Front Range up in the mountains, it's relatively cool. So it's kind of like free air conditioning. It's about 60 degrees all the time.
So do you have planned excursions or events, or do you just leave, here's what we got, go have fun?
We will, yeah. So one of the things I want to be able to do is, as a chef, take people out foraging, explore the local areas, pull different flavors in from the nature around us, and then be able to incorporate that into a lunch or a dinner or a breakfast for the guests. And so,
is that burger over there?
That is actually ground pork from the
ground pork.
Mangalitsa.
What do you want me to do to it? I'm going to stir it up?
It's actually, I turned it off, so I was
oh, you're good
smart.
to go?
Yeah,
all right.
slid over here.
Anything you need on this side, I can slide right in and get that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really interested in this, folks, because a concept like this is out in New York. It's a very famous farm called Blue Hill.
Yep.
And what you're doing is bringing that to Colorado, and I commend you, because I think that's awesome, Nathan. How have you had these discussions with your partners on this? Because you are everything, and that's really hard to be. I was having a talk with Zach from the Spice Guy off camera or off air about the fact that everyone comes to me as a distributor. They're like, distribute this, and and we were joking that it's all goes all the way to like toilet paper, and I'm like, whoa, I draw the line. I can't do that. But you're in a unique place because you have an audience right near you for all of those ingredients, for everything from from your farm, from your ranch. I mean, and a lot of people don't understand that differentiation between. I mean, I've met ranchers that consider themselves grass farmers because of the way they believe that they are stewards of the land first, and they're growing grass for their animals. But you're actually growing everything from the lettuce that you're going to eat and the herbs all the way through to the proteins, and that's hard. I mean, and then it's hard to do that on a big scale. So I was going to ask, you've got 130 hogs. Do you ever get backed up? How does that work?
We're actually already kind of sold out for the year as far as the hog goes. But what we want to try and teach, not only society but agriculture, is this, concept. We don't have to keep producing more and more and charging less and less. We want to actually produce a better quality product. We want to create better quality food, right, for the people that consume it, and charge more for it. And as consumers, we vote with our dollars every day, right? We choose to make decisions with our dollars. And
Amen.
So
Amen.
what we need to do as a society is start making better decisions with our dollars and finding ways to support, local agriculture, local businesses, obviously. But just thinking about the broader spectrum, which is when we slow things down, when we take the time to really remember what life's all about, all these things that Colorado's known for, this great outdoors that we have. Life is something that really should be cherished, and we all have dreams and aspirations. It's very important for us to all be able to chase after those. And we hope to be an opportunity for people to come visit and be able to find their own for their own encouragement, their own dreams, and their own whatever they're working towards in their own life. This for me is an example of something I've been working on for many years. It is very hard. It is very challenging. Right now we're just in the beginning phases of moving that farm up there, but the goal is exactly like you said, to be able to provide all of those things, but on a small scale, because we actually don't want to produce more and charge less. We want to produce less and charge more, and we want to provide a higher quality product, which is why we brought the pork here for you today, to show you the difference between a heritage breed animal and the mass-produced pork that you taste from the grocery store. So,
who's your customer?
Customer for us is everybody. So we're a boutique resort focused on health and wellness and food. We feel that everyone in the world has a connection with food. It's the one thing that transcends everything, right? Race, religion, poverty, wealth, doesn't matter. We all have to eat at the end of the day. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be happy. And so as far as we're concerned, we're trying to attract everyone. Even if you can't come visit us, maybe in your own life you can follow the story that has taken place and will continue to take place.
I guess what I was driving at is, do people have to come visit you in order to enjoy some of these products?
Oh,
or do you
of
have
course not.
partnerships with chefs and?
Yeah, so actually if you go to Beasts and Brews in Colorado Springs, you can check out some of our product there. They just opened up recently. Chef Brother Luck, of course, features a lot of our pork on his menu, special menus as well. We also are at Cerberus Brewery in Colorado Springs, and we love, just building relationships with people. So if anyone wants to try the products, you give us a call, and we'll do what we can to take care of you.
Well, Nathan, you're really preaching to the choir with me because of the fact that what you do. I mean, and selfishly, I want to ask you, when is there going to be a day when you're going to be growing enough lettuce that I can help you out? Because at some level you have to, you will grow a little bit more than you can just absorb yourself. But I love what you're doing in the concept of it because, if I'm an athlete and I'm training, wouldn't I want to come up to 10,000 feet? Wouldn't I want to eat some of the best proteins that are available to me to nourish my body, to support my soul, and to make me a better athlete, to make me train at a higher level than anyone's going to be able to train down at 5,000, down at sea level? If I'm going to ride a bike or, anything, quite honestly. So you've got an awesome concept there, and it's Gray Wolf.
Gray Wolf Resort. So originally, just to give you some history on the property, it originally
Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back because I think that will lend into a whole new conversation. So Nathan Rockwood with us, awaiting Blake DeHuff. And Gray Wolf Resorts is their new project with the
and
home
Blake just walked in the door, folks.
Home of Rocky Mountain Organic Farms as well. Okay, we'll take a break. There he is. Blake's here with us, and so we'll get him on the microphone. We'll continue this conversation along with Chef Bill from Smok. Right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, you are listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Hello, Facebook family. Hopefully, we've got all of our technical stuff, mechanical stuff working, microphones. We've got a friend of the show, friend of the whole Colorado culinary community, Chef Danny Flanagan. This is becoming a weekly thing. It's like a segment.
We're trying.
So tell us what's going on at the ACF.
So ACF, we have the golf tournament coming up in July at the Omni Interlocking. We also have the Lamb Council dinner out in Montrose that same week that we're going to go cook for. And then kind of a teaser, we are looking at how we...
Check something. Go ahead.
How we are going to grow and evolve the apprenticeship program moving forward over the next couple of years. Just lots of options that maybe before you didn't see that as an option, and maybe we can do something to change your mind.
There's always a lot of stuff happening with our friends at the ACF, keeping themselves relevant, ahead of the curve, sharing what the chefs of today know, bringing up those chefs of tomorrow.
Got to keep growing because one day I'm not going to want to do this, and you're not going to, and somebody's got to take over for us.
I know, and I've given up any growing for me, but that's a whole other story. That's a whole other
going down
story.
that road.
Listeners, catch these commercials. We'll be back in a flash.
Designer F. Johnson Design does it all. Take the headache out of trying to build your own website or design.
1 minute.
Who has time for that? F. Johnson Design will get you up and running with a professional and great-looking website. Design sharp graphics to your specifications and have your site up faster than you think. Logo, package design, SEO coding, and more. F. Johnson Design did the Modern Eater's website. Go to themoderneater.com to check out some of their work. Reach out to F. Johnson Design at fjohnsondesign.com.
Hey, it's Chef Elon Wenzel, owner of Element Knife Company. If you cook, then you'll know the importance of a quality knife and proper care. My training in Japan exposed me to exceptional cutlery. That's why I am so excited to offer you the knives I fell in love with. Element Knife Company is chef-driven, and my goal is to support and educate. Get at me for a knife clinic or conversation. Find me at elementknife.com or by simply calling 303-460-4628. For the best knives in your kitchen, think Element Knife Company.
Belgian-style beers are getting more and more popular, for good reason. And while a lot of breweries...
So there's not a rejoin right here.
And Denver does all Belgian...
Let me try to find one. Can I just throw Brother Luck in there again? Is that okay?
Yeah. Belgian-style beers like nobody else. From hard styles, we have 15 on tap in our big tasting...
That one's after the next break. Okay, yeah, throw whatever. Is that okay? Okay, cool.
High-octane doubles, triples, and quads, plus sours, barrel-aged beers, and special rare bottle releases. We have food trucks every day, plus a bistro next door. And your dog is welcome. Check us out at bruzbeers.com. Bruz Beers, spelled B-R-U-Z, 1675 West 67th Avenue in North Denver. Your best choice for Belgian-style badassery. Can I pour you one?
Hey, this is Brother Luck from Colorado Springs. All right, you ready? Owner of For My Brother Luck and Lucky Dumplings. I mean, he's a very, very impressive man. And you're rocking with the Modern Eaters, iHeartRadio.
There's the guy we were just talking about, Brother Luck from Colorado Springs. And what's really cool is we continue here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, talking with Blake and Nathan, Gray Wolf Resort, and home of Rocky Mountain Organic Farm. Brother Luck will be releasing this here coming the end of this week, Brian, will be the schedule for the summer dinner series of who the chefs are. I can tell you Brother Luck will be making a return visit, and we're going to pair him up with Rocky Mountain Organic.
He's sort of a famous chef, isn't he, this guy, Brother Luck?
He's pretty darn good. Blake, good to see you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for rushing, man. This is a tough thing, especially with an opening and everything else. I'm kind of a pinch getting you guys in here scheduled. But I thought it was important as we continue with Blake and Nathan and your new project, which I really would encourage people to check out your Facebook because it has a lot of great information on Gray Wolf Resort. And we'll be up there the week of June 15th through the 23rd. I think we'll be there on the Sunday, which is the 16th. Sunday the 16th, and we're going to enjoy walking the property, getting the stories, catching up. And I feel terrible because I never visited the old farm, but maybe that's a good thing because now we just start fresh, right where you guys would want it to be. Interesting project, and I can't wait to follow the progress of this project. But as we go up there and take a look around, you mentioned, Nathan, that there's a lot of great history involved with that. So where we left off, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. So a very interesting and unique story, especially with myself. So I spent quite a few years studying quantum physics and this idea that our thoughts become things. And actually, I wrote an article for the American Culinary Federation about it. But as chefs, we do it all the time, right? Give us a pile of ingredients, right? We start to dream up what is it going to become, and then we apply ourselves, and our thoughts become things, right? That pile of ingredients then becomes this amazing dish, right?
With that same thought process, do you vision what you want to have and then work your way backwards?
Exactly, and we do it all the time in our lives. We just don't always realize it, right? You choose to go to college, then you start working your way backwards, right? You take the different classes you need to graduate, et cetera, et cetera. So many years ago, I started envisioning what it'd be like to own a farm and ranch with some of the finest animals and to be able to bring in people from all over the world. And use my
love
skills.
that. So what's the end game with that? What was the dream?
The dream for me is to be able to, as a chef, to be able to wake up every day and do what I love and not feel the stress I think that comes with most chef jobs.
Yeah, go gather the provisions of the day.
Yeah, and kind of be able to play and fishing, hunting, foraging, fishing, those farming. Excuse me. Those are all things that I really enjoy. But back to the history of the property. So the Gray Wolf Ranch was formed originally by this gentleman named Daniel Gray. And the idea was that he's a horseman, that in life we can either let life be in control or we can kind of take control of life. It's a lot like riding a horse, right? There's a give and take with life, just like riding a horse. And it was very interesting and unique to be able to find this property, to be able to speak with Daniel, to share my vision that I had had for many years through a state-run program called the Colorado Agriculture Leadership Program. And then to be able to partner up with Blake through our friend Brother Luck, who of course was a mentor of mine, kind of like my big brother in the chef world since I was a young culinarian. And so a little bit of history on the property is it went from that horse ranch to what it is now, which is going to be a working farm and ranch. It's going to house Rocky Mountain Organic Farm. So I'll let Blake share some of the history of the farm, and then hopefully we'll taste some of the food here in a second.
First of all, before you jump in, Blake, I met you down at Brother's Luck. At Brother Luck's, you were on the show briefly. I fell in love with you and just your mindset of what, and I can't even really call it hippie, but it's just returning back to things that were simpler, less confused, less isn't necessary.
Whoa, slow down. This is the way we used to do things. Remember before we had like the internet and phones, and I mean, I laugh about the fact if you needed provisions, you would leave your 3-year-old, your 5-year-old at home, and you'd ride your horse 4 to 6 hours into town and back to get something. Well, I mean, but the reality is when I'm going to the place of you're getting back to what we used to know, and that's I think that everyone wants something fast. I mean, the fact that we invented a microwave, please take that and throw it in the trash if you're listening, because stop using that. Think about how do you cook slow? How do we appreciate the fact that a good pork, you don't inject good pork with steroids and hormones to make them grow fast. You don't dump a bunch of nitrogen on your greens to make them grow fast. It's not about accelerating the speed that we move at. It's about really enjoying the things that are right here on the planet Earth.
Blake, take it
and you guys are doing that.
That is correct. Quality takes time. Quantity you can produce quick, which is what we're unfortunately stuck with. But good quality takes time to produce, takes time to develop. And what we're trying to do is exactly that. Use what nature has provided. None of us are smart enough to design what nature has already provided for us. So what we're trying to do is cultivate what's already there and use some of today's knowledge, which not all of it is very beneficial, but use that along with nature and what nature provides and what the natural way of things are, and cultivate on that. Nutrients in soil are something that's just very simple, but it's so far gone, unfortunately. If we can continue to provide nutrients to the soil, everything that grows there is going to have more nutrients in it, which is more tasty, more beneficial to anybody eating it. Good pork. Our pork takes 18 months to develop properly. That is something that was a normal 100 years ago. You would wait 12 to 24 months for a pig to be ready. Nowadays, with the steroids and everything, like you're saying, 6 to 8 months is pork chops on your plate. It's just not right.
Thank you.
It's just not right.
Yeah.
And it's a completely unsustainable agriculture system that's in place right now. And I think what we can do is provide a small caveat to what is possible and what was possible and what should be done to just provide a cleaner, healthier product for everyone out there.
Well, it goes back into, again, that whole concept is life in control of you, or are you in control of life? Well, us as a people, are we going to just let things be how they are, or are we going to step up and start making changes? And so what we're doing is in our own lives, in our own community, with the people that raise, me as a chef and Blake as a farmer, to set that example and, again, to bring these values back to the table. And that hopefully in that process, the people that come visit us will then take that back into their own lives and their own world and continue to help make these changes. Because, again, think about it, right? Is life in control of us, or are we in control of life, right? Once we choose to take the reins, so to speak, what's possible for us? Our biggest fear is not that we're weak, right? It's that we're powerful beyond measure, right?
Here's what's interesting about your new project, guys, in Grey Wolf Resort, is I really believe that you're fully in this for education.
Absolutely.
At this point.
Absolutely.
I mean, the utilization of the land, those are all things that really with Rocky Mountain Organic Farms it was really just all about the food and now you've refined this and got the chef element and the property to be able to say, we're going to take it to the next level. We do all of that great. We're going to educate, and we're going to leave people with an experience to go home to hopefully spread the word about what we're doing. That's pretty darn cool.
Well, Greg, and for me here, this is touching because, quite honestly, these guys are, I've got a body of work that stretches 25 years that's all been organic. And what everything you both have said tonight about the fact of, I've been trying to convince people to pay more for their food from the very beginning. And everyone thought I was crazy. And it is. It's a mission that I have chosen to take and not a very profitable one. Because the reality is, bad food is easy to produce, and it's bad on our environment, our economy, on everything downstream. I mean, it keeps the machine going, bad food, because it keeps people unhealthy. And all of that tied into what you guys are doing with the organic side of this. I mean, is where I have so much admiration for you, because this is something that it's been an uphill battle ever, I got involved in 1994, and ever since then, I had people tell me, oh, it's a fad. Do you really think? And, and even there were times I had to leave the industry because there wasn't, I was making $330 as a manager of a grocery store, and I had to go away because I wanted to start a family. And it cost me more to live in the neighborhood that I worked in that I was making. And so I love what you're doing, because the reality is you're telling this story, and you guys are coming from a place of soil and how important is our soil. And by the way, in a big sense, you guys, you're a biodynamic farm in my eyes.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you're doing. You're not getting the certification. You don't need to, because you let people that are your chefs, you let people tell your story for you, because you truly are. You're biodynamic. You're taking the inputs of what you do and putting it back into the soil. And through the soil, you're creating other things, such as the vegetables that you use. I'm sure down the road you'll start planting trees. I'm sure you guys have a vision
Hey, Brian,
20 years out.
You have a lot of passion. There was one thing that struck me this week when we were talking, and this is a real story, is that one of the concerns with Brian is they're not really that big, their reach of who they. How do you get over that thing to where it's the reach and how you can get to those people and what you do to be able to, and a lot of times you're not going to be able to provide the Brian Freemans of the world all of their lettuce, and you may not want to, but where's that? Is there a disconnect?
No, our idea is, again, it's the education. You know, we want to teach people on a small scale what can be done on a larger scale, but we're not ready yet as a society to do that.
That's what I said. I said, I love their story. I like what they're doing. I want to push that because that's the agenda. That's what means so much to the Modern Eater Show, are folks like you guys who are really fighting the fight out there. And I think leading by example, if you touch just 1, 2, 3 and just get the snowball rolling down the hill, I firmly believe everything that I've done, just vetting out what you do and your products and who you guys are, that that's going to follow. That word is going to spread.
You hit the nail on the head there with that, and that's exactly it. Lead by example, and if a few people can see and say, wow, that, hey, this is possible, this can be done, this is real, it's happening, well, why don't I try it as well?
I'm going to scream it from the rooftops for you guys, because I really believe if there's something good that we can do as the Modern Eater Show is to take guys like you who are working so hard to not only just provide great food, but to educate at the same time. So you've got us anytime as a conduit to spread that word. We can't wait to see you in mid-June. We'll be out there that Sunday. And just for folks, I want them to follow along and see exactly why we fell in love with you guys, and just really none better. We love what you do.
Thank you very much.
So much. Okay, there they are. These guys, you'll hear so much more from them, and Blake DeHuff and our friend Nathan Rockwood. Chef, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to enjoy some of this delicious food that you brought back down with us.
Yep.
That's fantastic. And then Aaron from Elevation Ketchup, we're going to get him on the show, and then we have a delicious brewery. That's all still ahead right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. We'll throw it to Little Rich right now as we take a break on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Facebook family, have we got a treat for you. We're kind of coming into our descent. We're getting close. Runway's in view. But first, I'm going to call this Bill's Bangin' Brisket Taco. Check that baby out. And I'm going to tell you, it tastes way better than it looks. We got Chef Bill from Smok. Tell us about Smok.
So Smok is a barbecue restaurant. We're located in Rhino in the Source Complex. We're traditional barbecue, fast casual counter service. Come in, bring your family, bring your kids. We got brisket, we got sausage, we got burnt ends, we got tacos, we got nachos. We got everything you're gonna need. We have a full beverage program. This taco is available 7 days a week. We're open from 11 to 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. Breakfast on Wednesday through Sunday.
Oh my God, this is incredible. And I mean, just all of it. I'm having a hard time not just wolfing this thing down. Actually, I never eat. I've had 2 of these tonight. Thanks for coming, Bill.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Get down to Smok and get you some of this. Right now, we're going to take a few minutes, listen to some of our favorite sponsors.
A free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you too want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
Hey everyone, it's Colleen Ferreira with the Colorado Chefs Association. Are you ready to put your passion to work? Well, we train the future chefs of Colorado, and we want you to join us. The Colorado Chefs Association is recruiting for our fall semester right now. Join our American Culinary Federation accredited cooking program, work in a professional kitchen, and get paid all while earning your sous chef certification. Email me at colleen@acfcoloradochefs.org. I'd love to hear from you. Join our excitement and explore a new future.
Do you have the goods? If you're looking for a neighborhood restaurant that features gluten-free menu items, stop The Goods. Whether you're a vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, or even a meat lover, they've got something for everyone. Do you love a great sandwich? How about wood oven roasted vegetables on multigrain bread with rosemary mayo and olives, vegan and certified gluten-free? Or for the meat lover, try one of their most popular menu items. The Paleo Bowl, with house-smoked pork, wood oven-roasted veggies, 2 sunny-side-up eggs, and Indonesian sambal sauce. It's delicious. As a friendly neighborhood restaurant featuring dinner, brunch, and full bar with 2 happy hours daily, they truly care about you, the customer, and desire to provide an extraordinary dining experience for everyone. They're family and children-friendly, and even have a playroom for the little ones. The Goods, a friendly neighborhood restaurant offering a wide menu of gluten-free and vegan options. And they don't forget about meat lovers, with a staff that really cares. On East Colfax, directly connected to the Tattered Cover Bookstore. Hungry? TheGoodsRestaurant.com.
Hey guys, it's Carly Smith, the Fairy Godmother here. Don't get too excited. Live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. I love your guts. You're listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeart. Let's go make some bone broth.
Someday I will have a boat, Aaron, I hope. And I'll share it with all of us.
Borrow Brian's.
Brian, you got a boat?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you do? Wow.
That's how he's got that great tan.
The things I learned.
You just need the keys.
Aaron
Notice how he never
Wagner,
gave it to you.
Elevation Ketchup, man. We always try and get you. We always try and get you into the city. Rich just, he said new sponsor. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, no, he's sponsoring us because tonight we have all of the Elevation Ketchup flavors. We've got
array.
5 flavors in-house tonight. This is his new. He's got a sriracha. He's got an original. He's got a no sugar.
Let's
by the
let
way,
him
the
talk.
sugar that he uses is cane sugar. Jump in.
Vegan cane sugar, the good stuff.
Nice.
Known for your ketchup, but known for good ketchup. What makes it good?
Lots of hard work.
I understand.
Fresh
Ingredients.
Fresh California tomatoes. Lots of love. Lots of hard work. It is not as easy as you might think.
You're expanding.
Yeah,
Yes,
Bloody
we
Mary
are.
sauce. Here, let's
The new
hand those
Bloody
Bloody
Mary.
Marys over to Jay there. Here you go, Jay.
The new Bloody Mary.
Jump
it's
right in
killer.
with that action. There you
All right.
go, baby.
You can actually already get that. We just came out with that. You can get that out at a bunch of restaurants out of DIA.
One step.
Oh,
first
really?
Ketchup.
Oh, back to the ketchup. Back to the ketchup.
Man, this show is just getting out of my hands.
That's what happens when you invite me. It just gets loose.
Well, Greg created this monster called the Modern Eater, and it is like a machine, a juggernaut that grabs all the local people and brings them together on one ship and tells a story. Thank you,
tornado.
Greg Hollenbeck and the
Thank
Modern
you,
Eater.
Brian. Well, he has no idea what he got into. He's like, well, what did I do? Life was so easy
We tell the
before.
stories, and this is actually a great story, a great hyper-local Colorado brand right here. Denver, Colorado. I think we're neighbors. You're right down the street, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just down
right
the
on
street.
Sheridan. Yeah.
Your flagship flavor, just
The restaurant style is what we sell the most.
Yeah.
And that goes to hotels. We're doing a ton of work with
In my house.
with the K through 12 schools. So it looks like we've got all of the Cherry Creek schools. We've got Douglas County this year. We've got Littleton. So we should be working with about 500,000 kids next year, that's the coolest thing for me.
Congratulations, man.
It's awesome.
That's huge.
and I wonder if they'll know how great that product is. You know,
One of our guys came in and he's like, my kid has that at school. So he's like, can I buy a bunch? So, I mean, it shows you that the kid saw it at school. Then he tells his dad about it. And the dad's like, oh, yeah, I deliver that. So then he comes in and gets them. So it's cool to be working with the kids. And I want to go have lunch with them, sit down with them and have their chicken nuggets or whatever they have.
Well, but
and
Aaron, back up
make
and
my own
tell us
stuff.
about your ingredients, because the reality is you're shaking this up.
the taste of ketchup,
Yeah.
something that brings you back to your childhood.
Yes.
I mean, truly, when you taste ketchup, and now as an adult when you taste it, but you can tell the difference with this ketchup as far as the no additives, no preservatives, no high fructose.
It's made how it used to be made.
Yeah.
That's the thing. No corn syrup, no high fructose corn syrup, no MSG. So the great thing, I mean, I have to credit our tomatoes to 99.9% of it. The tomatoes from the time they're picked to the time they're packed in the processing facility is less than 4 hours. So if you taste that tomato paste, it tastes like ice cream. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
That's the big thing.
No doubt.
That's the big thing. We work with these guys out in California that are legit.
What's Vindaloo?
That's the Indian curry. We did that with Savory Spice for their 10-year anniversary.
I've got to try that.
It's
So
awesome.
let me give
I
you a
think
challenge,
that's the best
Aaron.
one, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's not a spicy vindaloo. It's very well balanced. It's excellent.
I will try
They
that.
serve that at Ophelia. That's
So
what you get at Ophelia with
your
fries.
restaurant style over your original recipe.
So the restaurant style was a creation because a lot of the chefs love the original, which is an old family recipe from the. That's how I got into this mess. And the restaurant style is kind of a creation with Daniel and Chef Jose and Kyle Mendenhall and all those guys.
Really?
That wanted to serve something local and unique and didn't want all the chemicals that come with it, but they want to be able to appeal to everybody. So that's kind of what we call the American style ketchup. With it's more a little sugar,
Sweeter. Sweeter. Yeah.
It's just like it's like an American style ketchup.
Yeah.
The original is a lot more like a New Zealand style or European style, a lot more complex flavor profile than the restaurant style. But the restaurant style is by far the most popular. That's what they're serving in all the schools and the hospitals and Vesco.
Aaron, let me throw you a challenge.
Yes, sir.
You're getting so big, you are able to change the way that people farm. Very shortly, you will be able to look at the people that are growing your tomatoes and say, I want you to give back to the land.
It's cool.
So there you go. There's
my
my challenge for
I'm
you.
going to go out to the next harvest. I've been invited out to meet all the farmers, and I'm going to get dirty with those guys. It's going to be cool.
Where is
Nice. In California. So it's more central California. It's not the southern part. It's just south of where all the great vines and the
So you're
grapes come
talking
from.
Bakersfield or up a little north of Bakersfield? Where are you going?
It's just south of there.
Just south of Bakersfield.
Yep,
okay.
yep.
So that's the Central Valley.
Yep, exactly.
Big growing area of
Los
California.
Baños.
Yes, Los Baños. Okay.
So
I like that.
You've dialed in the ketchup. I mean, pretty much, I think you've got that all worked out. But then you've got these great tomatoes, and you say, well, why not? Let's do an offshoot, which is this Bloody Mary mix.
And the Bloody Mary challenge came from one of the guys who owns or is the head buyer for several hundred restaurants.
I could see that. It just threw down the gauntlet. I challenge you, Aaron.
Well, he said we need something better and cleaner with no MSG, no soy, and we want it to be vegan. And I said, okay, we'll work on it. It's a big project for sure.
And that had to be hard because you've got a good friend who does that as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you've got good friends, and you said, guys, I'm not dissing you. I'm making something commercial. You keep the retail side.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're doing, is we wanted a better, cleaner option that's more affordable. And that's the thing, like our ketchup is cheaper for chefs. It's cheaper than Heinz. Even once it goes through Cisco or Shamrock or one of the big guys, it's still cheaper.
Well,
and that's
I've
the
heard
thing
you're making in little packets too now, right?
We do have the machine, yeah, but we're still testing the film because we're trying to be as green as possible, and we're not about.
That's not very green, is it?
It's not green at all.
Trillion packets.
We actually turned down a really big deal with a huge school district out of state that was buying 4 truckloads a year because it rubbed me the wrong way to all the landfill, and they're not
That's
recyclable.
Pretty stand up. I like that.
Yeah, you got to do what's right first, and there's better options. So we're trying to get them to do our dispensers to a compostable cup, and that discussion's still going. But we couldn't do the packets. It's so wasteful. The good part is that the kids still aren't having high fructose corn syrup, but there's a better option. So if we can teach these guys out of state to think kind of like we do around here, where there is a better option. What about a compostable cup? The pumps. It's easier, then there's less waste rather than just dumping all this into landfill.
Well, and I just say that because I want a day where every fast food joint, these big conglomerates that I don't support and I haven't eaten in 20 years plus, but I want you to have your ketchup packets.
But do you want to be
leaving their doors? Well, he should.
I don't know.
Well, if it's
you
a
got
healthier
a line
option,
brands, yeah. I mean, you don't
they're
want
not
to be
having high fructose corn syrup. Then yeah, we want to be there, but we don't want to fill the landfills with plastic.
But do you want
and
Element
oil and-
side by side with McDuck's as much as that would?
I didn't even say their name. Why you got to go there, man? We shouldn't give them any prep. Yeah, we shouldn't get.
Is that from that movie Coming to America, McDougal's or whatever?
But that's a good question, where Greg goes here.
Well, we want to partner with people that are doing things right, but that's the thing. We all got to be focused and going in the right direction. If you've got to go with somebody to corral them in to educate them into what the whole focus, what everybody's focus should be, then we kind of cross that bridge. But the same thing that happened with this huge school district. It's like, all right, we're not going to do packets, and they thought we were crazy. I'm like, but here's what we're going to do.
Sure.
And we're going to help, and we're going to pay for a big part of that.
What's
just to help bring them along and
Well, it's
really to
educate, and that's what we've been talking about all
Gotta
night. It's
educate 'em.
educate.
Yeah.
You're going to educate them.
You got to help them.
How much per year is the ketchup industry doing?
It's huge. It's huge.
Like if you were to bite 1% off of that, you would be.
I think Heinz, and this was before their stock got crushed, is falling, but they were doing 687 million bottles a year.
Unbelievable.
It's a lot.
Wow, and just, I mean, and this is condiment.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But they've been around forever. There's 2 companies that have owned the space for 50.
One really.
Really?
One really,
That's
yeah. I mean, they at
unbelievable.
1.5 years ago, I think they had 87% of the market.
So you can get it in your finer grocery stores.
Yep. Sprouts,
Even in the
Vitamin
not so
Cottage.
fine grocery stores, I think, too. Can you get it at King Soup's?
No,
You
we're not.
can't.
We're not.
Yeah,
with those guys, no.
Natural
Sprouts,
Grocers?
Vitamin Cottage, yeah, Natural Grocers.
Yeah.
Safeway, though,
Whole
right?
Foods.
Are you in Safeway?
Yep.
None of the big boys, yeah.
We're focused on Sprouts and,
I like that.
and Whole
Okay.
Foods and for
Well,
other,
but Greg,
for other reasons.
I would say that in the beginning too in my career that I liked that I was only working with the small guys, but in a way, if we're going to share the message, if we're going to educate the masses,
Right, but there's something
we
to
have
do
to
with-
engage. Well, we just got to figure out on our
That's
terms.
a whole nother 20 minutes, but bastardizing a product in some places, if you carry it there, then it diminishes how they esteem the product to be, and the end consumer looks at, I mean, positioning is everything.
Yeah,
how you
it's
do
a
that.
big
But what's next? With 30 seconds, what's next?
The Bloody Mary is the big hit. It's a big deal because we're not using the big competition or the person that we're changing over uses MSG. The label is so small you can't even read it.
I'll tell you what, I'm a
and that's the big
customer.
volume. Yeah, that's the big volume that we're working with. So and it's exciting. It's a new product. It's like a new business. It's a totally different thing and it's delicious. It's excellent stuff. So
Where can people find it?
the Bloody Mary?
Yep.
DIA, a few select restaurants. You can
Keep
get
an
it at
eye out.
Cisco, yeah.
It's
Shamrock,
you're
those
at the
guys.
beginning stages of that,
Well,
right?
we're just not retail focused. We're helping those guys that
Food
are
service.
going through a lot. Yeah, the restaurants, the guys that have taken care of us for a long time, and
Well, but and the sad thing is they're the guys that are sending out the worst food that we could have possibly imagine. I mean, I go check out oils and stuff like that, and that's why I'm such a big fan of Colorado Mills.
They're awesome.
Because the reality is these guys are trying to go cheap as opposed to going good, and someone like Colorado Mills bridged that gap.
Yeah.
They found, how can I make you a good product inexpensively? You did the same thing. How is Elevations a
Aaron.
great product?
We're
Yeah.
like 4 minutes behind. Thank you, Aaron. We're going to talk beer next.
Awesome.
Appreciate catching up with you all the time.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
we'll be back in a flash. Little Rich, take it away. You are listening to the Modern Eater Show on I.
Facebook and YouTube viewers, do we have something for you? We're heading down to the final approach. Got our seat backs up, our tray tables up. We're going to be hitting ground in just a second. But first, look at that. This is a taco-centric show.
That is a heritage taco.
What did you do here?
Well, it's a heritage pork taco. So we have Mangalitsa pork, ground pork that we served here with charred onion, tomato chutney, some arugula, a little bit of cojita, a pork fat and cream, and then some avocado to kind of cool it down.
Man, I always talk about how I try to make my tortillas like a canvas for chefs to paint on. Holy cow, you did like the Mona Lisa of tacos on this. Where can I find this?
You have to come to Grey Wolf Resort. So you can go, hopefully you can get in. We're pretty booked out most of the summer, but go to greywolfresort.com and hopefully you can find a way.
Go over, get to the Grey Wolf Resort, and get your teeth into some of this. This is incredible. Doesn't get much better than that. Look at this. I'm going to eat this off camera because I'll make a mess. We'll be back. Listen to some fantastic advice from great sponsors.
303-416-3240. Aspenwood Dental.
Get ready to change the way you look at food. This is Peter Allman, the founder of South River Aquaponics and Alpenglow Mushrooms. As a Le Cordon Bleu trained chef, I know the importance of quality ingredients. That's why in 2013, I left the fine dining industry to start a sustainable organic farm. At South River Aquaponics Alpenglow, we are the leader in sustainable growing practices, utilizing our natural resources as effectively as possible. No pesticides, no GMOs, no funny business, just clean, honest food production. We use old world techniques combined with modern technology to bring you the best possible produce. Our gourmet mushroom facility provides CO2 for our greenhouse that grows tilapia as well as lettuces and herbs in our aquaponics system. Look for us in natural grocers, City Market, and served on the plates of Colorado's finest chefs. At South River Aquaponics Alpenglow Mushrooms, we're growing greener. To learn more about aquaponics and see our products, go to our website at southriveraquaponics.com. South River Aquaponics, the future of farming.
My dad's vegetables are so good, I can't live without them.
Hey, Colorado chefs. Brian Freeman with Growers Organic and the Modern Eater Talk Show. Do you care about where your food comes from? I do. Do you want loyalty from customers who care about that as well? I can help by providing top quality organic produce with reliable delivery, knowledgeable sales team who genuinely care about how food is grown, transported, and served. Chefs, Growers Organic will ensure you have excellent ingredients for your next James Beard dinner, your nightly specials, or your regular menu items. Join the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves sausage, and I know you will too.
Now it's time for the Modern Eaters Booze in the News segment.
I like my beer cold, my meat grilled, and my entertainment explosive.
All we need is an air and a cooler beer.
Here's your booze.
Yeah, booze in the news. All the booze news you can use right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio, and I've been looking forward to this. Save the best for last. And Rich and Jessica Ferrero. Did I say it right?
Fiero.
Yeah. Fiero.
Like the car, man. Like the car.
Yeah,
90s.
like the
Come
car.
on.
Really? Like, just like the
Come
car.
on, with 2 R's.
Man, I'm not that old. You know I'm lying.
Yes, he is. Yeah, get there.
Atrevida Beer Company in Colorado Springs. First of all, just talk about the tap room.
Yeah, so we actually just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, so we're babies in the game. Thank you. You know, I offer something a little bit different. So the beer styles that you see in front of you, everything is done by inspiration. Every single beer has a story right behind it. You walk into our brewery, it's very indicative that there's a Latina in there. It's very colorful, very bright, open, airy, and yeah, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, no, we're veteran-owned, Latina-owned, of course. My wife is the brewer, head brewer. She builds all the recipes. This is her baby. It's Atrevida. It means bold, audacious, daring woman. We left it in that form, in feminine form, because that's who it's about. It's about her. She's the star. She did the TV show Beerland on the Viceland channel. She won that first season, and for us, that was the start of, hey, let's do something bigger with that. And so we ran with it. I'm an Army guy. I don't know beer. You know, I know how to drink it. And so she went ahead, and when we were in Germany, she really fell in love with it and came back, really got into it down here in Colorado, got involved with all kinds of women's organizations, Pussy Riot Beers and the Girls with Lady Justice, and just really went into some stuff down here. Spent about 7 years getting her skills up, and then really got into it after she won Viceland. The show on Viceland, we went after it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Crazy story.
It's so much fun.
Here's my pom-poms. Boom, done.
Gave me the goosebumps. Well, let's just start. Show us a beer and tell us a story.
Yeah, well, I'll start with La Gran Señora. This is an American wheat beer that sat on oakwood staves with some citrus and spices in there. So very, very layered beer, very complex beer. This was actually the first beer that I put into competition after opening my place. And we actually won an award for it. So it was the People's Choice Award over at Bines and Brews out in Monument. And so this beer is just as complex as any woman that you know. That's why it's called La Gran Señora. So actually the other part of that is that Jenny Rivera is known as Diva de la Banda. And she was one of my favorite music artists. And so
you look like her too.
She was
Where have
she
you
was
guys
known
been
as
all my life?
Dude, come on. You got to get us on this. We got to be on TV, right? No.
Wow, you guys are great.
Yeah, so I mean, we have the Drunken Churro Whip beer with some cinnamon, some spices, and some agave. We have our Boricua beer, which is our Belgian blonde.
You said there's a story behind each one now.
No, the Drunken Churro, that agave it's cool because she took out all the sugar. She wanted to use the agave and the cinnamon to ferment out. And the Drunken Churro, why not? It's a light bready beer. And we watched everybody kind of build it off of a stout, and we didn't understand that. So we took it as, hey, we know churros. We're Mexicans, so we got our churro beer. So we went with a wit. and she decided, hey, I'm going to lighten it up and give it a little bite with the agave because we like tequila a little bit, you know. So boom, and
Comes
then
from
and
the
it
same
brought it
plant.
out, and it came out beautiful. So it builds on you. It doesn't give you all that sweetness in the first taste. You want a full glass to give you that sweetness. Nobody wants to taste 1 ounce of sweet beer because you're going to drink 16 ounces of it and like it. So we take it in a mild little chunks, and then by the time you get to 16 ounces, you get that taste.
All right, I got it.
Yeah, which next year? Yeah, exactly. Right there.
So you got to build it. You got to
to
build it out. So, and we did this one at GABF. It was a big hit because a lot of folks were really kind of trying to figure out what a churro beer needs to be, and for us, it was all about a light, bready beer.
Well, I was going to ask you, what do people south of the border know about beer? Come on now. Corona and Pacifico. Come on, beat me up, Jessica. She's like, those are fighting words.
We've got a very good craft beer community going on down south of the border now, actually. Some terrific brewers out there, some terrific breweries out there, some of which I would love to collaborate with and work with. They're excellent craft brewers out there. But yes, initially you had your Coronas, you had your Negro Modelos and all of that kind of stuff. That was the beer I didn't like. That's why I was never a fan of beer until we actually went to Germany, learned how to drink beer there. When my husband's military unit had a function at a local brewery in Plankstadt. And as part of that function, they took us back of the house, gave us a tour, showed us grain to glass what it took to make a beer. And I just remember being completely enthralled and just like, dude, I can totally do this.
So, Jessica, that was your inspiration.
That was it. Yeah, and I'm in the Mecca, man. I mean, I'm in Germany. We went and explored Germany and Belgium and Czech.
Austria,
and very, very spoiled story.
We spent our time vacationing around beer because, I mean, one, I liked it, and two, she liked it, and now all of a sudden it was a great way to do a vacation. So everything we did was about beer. And then we got here to Colorado for my next duty station. So we started touring beer. We did 4 days on President's Day, 50 breweries in 4 days, up and down the east side. We went the east side up into Fort Collins and then came back down on the west side.
So we're going to come
it
down
was awesome.
and do a show there. That's just
we got to. It's a great time, and the place is really done up.
Give us the address. So with this
address,
week,
where are you located?
204 Mount View Lane, Suite 3. There's actually 3 suites in there, but Suite 3 is the door that you need to go in.
Wait, Denver? Colorado Springs?
Oh, Colorado Springs.
Come on. Okay,
that's where it's at.
I wanted
that's where
you
it's at. That's where beer's coming. It's coming to life, man. I'm telling you, this is where it's at because it's all a bunch of young guys and young women coming up and doing some cool things down there. So. We just wanted bacon and beer for our Mexican lager, so we went into Invesco and spiked the ball, right, for Colorado Springs.
It went so quickly. I actually had it on tap yesterday, and it sold out immediately. So
we're done. So we're gonna wait for the next batch, and the lager takes forever, so that's why it's gonna be a little while. So.
Rich and
congratulations! So that's big news.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
big.
you. Yeah.
We're coming to visit. I'm sold. You guys
Please
just
do.
Well, I had the Kolsch.
I
I had this next beer that you poured me, and I want to jump in and dive and try 3 more because you've got them here.
Oh, they're all here.
Go check them out. Atrevida, Colorado Springs. Thank you so much, you guys.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to continue here and party right here in Studio Kitchen, Colorado. I think we have just about 10 seconds left, don't we, Jared? 5 seconds. All right, we'll see you next week on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Lowe's knows you'll do it right and do it yourself to save on what you need to get a landscape you love. We do it right too, with everyday deals and more during our Memorial Day sale. Shop in store now and get 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. Whatever project is next on your list, hurry into your local Lowe's and save. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Valid in store only through 5/29 while supplies last. See store for details.